Hello and good morning, all my favorite little folks out there. How you doing today? How you doing? All right. Well, you know what? I was always trying to wacky Wednesday. Well, let's change it to something a little bit different. Let's make it Wellness Wednesday because you know what? It's good to stay focused. It's good to stay focused and keep your body in tune as well as your mind. So I always thought of that. Yeah, maybe something we can incorporate with the artist because the artist, although we use a lot of this, we could always use a little bit more of this and a little bit more muscle to get along, right? Yeah, you got to move. And I ask a lot of people who live to a nice ripe old age, and they usually say you just don't stop. You just don't stop. Everything just keeps moving, and that's the thing. You got to keep moving and stay focused. Especially, you get these things that they blurp and bleep at you, and you're like, okay, you know what? Sometimes you have to put this down too. You can't, this is not your life. This here, what you're living right now, this is your life, all right? And Wellness Wednesday will incorporate a little bit of everything because I was just thinking of it, it's like the thing that's right in the middle of the week to kind of like, okay, well, I tell you all about art, but do I let you know how well I am? I am doing really well. Yeah, so this is Wednesdays. We'll talk about health. How about that? Because I myself have been a carnivore for over a year now, and previously, after many years of being pre-diabetic, not realizing it at the time until I was told. Back when I was still doing my paint night days. So it was around 2015, 2016. Wow. I'm surprised. Yeah. Back then, I was starting to pack on the pounds, put it that way. So let me see. Um, okay, yes, yeah. So yeah, around 2015. So what was it previously? Anyway, I was told by my doctor I was pre-diabetic. So what I had to do is I cut out all the white stuff and just went on a keto diet. And I learned about the keto experience and what to eat and what not to eat. And I find out now that I'm on carnivore that what we eat is very, very important, and very important. What we put into our bodies is what we're going to get out of it. So some people who have problems with a lot of different issues, if they just start back down to the basics and just build from there, sometimes you find out what you like and don't like. Now I'm pretty good with my stomach. I could say the last couple days, with I've been doing this for a year now. Every still once in a while, I still get my old like runny stools, stuff like that. But you just got to drink more water. You're probably not getting enough fat, so I probably should be eating a little bit more fat and just kind of get myself kind of a little bit more kind of bunged up so everything goes a lot smoother. And that's what I learned. But it wasn't bad. It's not bad. Every once in a while, if it's a little bit on the wet side, it's okay. But you want to make sure you have nice solid stools too. And I won't talk about poop anymore because I'm sure there's plenty of poop going on in the world. We don't need to talk anymore about that. We got a lot to deal with anyway. So, how are you doing health wise? I always say if you keep your health up, you're going to stay well, and your body always wants to stay in that well state. If you're doing good, if you're not feeling any pain, your body's doing well. Myself, now that I've been doing, like I say, the carnivore diet for over a year now, I find that I'm very energetic. I don't really need a lot of exercise as much as I did when I was doing keto. So, although it is still very important to because you are using a lot of protein, you are getting muscle, so like you are repairing any muscle that, so like some of my back problems I used to have in the past, not as bad anymore. And neck issues, not as bad. My hubby, he used to have wicked headaches, and now he doesn't have the headaches anymore, which is great. He's done really, really well on the diet. Myself, I don't think I've changed too much. I think maybe because I've been slowly progressing myself into something where he just went from sugar to basically almost no sugar, almost cold turkey, and we both still love chocolate. I mean, chocolate is the aphrodisiac of the mind, right? It just tastes so good and sweet, and it's just like one little treat that you get every once in a while, right? And it's okay if you do that once in a while. There's nothing wrong with loving something so much. I mean, I could tell you stories of oh boy, but we won't go there. I want to talk a little bit more about fitness. Okay, so like I say, I don't work out as much as I used to, but I used to do my week quite frequently. I was quite religious with doing my week, which included doing yoga and a lot of dance, and that's a lot of cardio. And it's really, really good for you to get your keep your heart going and stuff like that. But you've got to work your muscles too. So I don't go to the gym, and I mean, it doesn't. What I do is I use resistance training instead, and I do have something too that I listen to music and I go with the dance. I have my one friend, Wendy Moses. She says as long as you can dance to three songs, three of your favorite songs, you can get yourself into shape. You don't have to worry about going to a gym or anything like that. You move around enough, you get this, you get your body working out enough, you get to the spot where you can start burning fat. And of course, nutrition is very important. Movement is very important. I like Wendy Moses just for the fact that she tells everybody you got to keep moving, and that's what the whole key is, movement. Because you know what I really started to learn as you grow older and age. It's like as much as you have those days where it's just like I just wish I could just sit still for a moment and just rest. Have you ever found what happens when you use it for a moment and just rest? Well, even when I'm doing my art, give that case in point. I mean, there's still stuff going on. Like I'm still focusing, and I still am using parts of my body, but I'm not using my whole body. I'm using mostly my mind and say my arms for doing a lot of art. The body still needs to be. The rest of it still needs to move too. Like you can't just sit because that's you make yourself dormant and you can you can get a fat ass, put it that way, because yes, I used to have a pretty fat ass too. So but I want to give you a little bit of hint of something that I've been just working on lately, and it's nothing big, but I've been doing a lot of stretching and a lot of resistance training, and I have my nice little gloves now. Back in my sordid past, I used to go to this place, gym for women only. It was called Fitness Alive, and I learned how to do a little bit of like boxing and fit boxing. And as a kid, with my initials being KO, I always thought about being a fighter. And well, people think I got enough scars on my face. They probably thought I was a fighter, and I could. I do have the training. I did get the training enough to be able to do pads and gloves, and I do know proper stance, and I have taken. For a week, I went to a Muay Thai place and actually had a lot of fun. My one friend, she was exhausted. I was exhilarated. I think it is so much fun. Just, and you get to be, you're not only with people, but you're with maybe new people that you've never met before. And you get to practice a little bit of technique and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you a little technique today. Okay. I know you can't see my face. I'm trying to get it so you can see my face and my body too. So not bad. You can see my fat too. I tuck it in. There we go. Let me move this out of the way. Yeah, I'm going to do a little stretching today, and I'm going to show you. I got my gloves. Yeah, so I went to this place called Fitness Alive just for women. They had the best sauna, the best hot tub that came right up to you, right up to your neck. And you could oh my gosh, it was a Shangri-La. I so miss that place. I have dreams about it still. I can still picture it in my mind. Beautiful place. And I used to do workouts there. I used to do a lot of used to do it. They had lots of mirrors there to be able to, and a floor that was bounce resistant. So I mean, when you did some jumping, it didn't shake everything. So yeah, let me show you a little bit of basics here. Yeah, I like this. Not bad, eh? I do work out when I do. It doesn't really show as much as it should, but I mean, I haven't done it for a while, so I'm building it back up again. So give me a little time. I'm gonna show off my abs one of these days. It's gonna have ripple effect, like my hubby. Oh my gosh, he's got the greatest bod right now. Oh, I love Frank. Frank is like My Italian stallion, man, I tell you, he's my Rocky. And punch him in the nose right down every once in a while. You know, when you've been together with somebody for almost 30 years, yeah, you're almost like, hi, hey, how you doing? But no, let's get this straight, okay? Men and women are not built the same. He's tall and lanky with lots and lots of muscle. I'm short and a little bit more stout with a little bit of muscle too. So our matchup, we work together well. But when if it comes to fighting, he's got me like, no, I'm done. Like if I knew technique, maybe I can might be make my, but it would take a lot of like to really him and I, yeah, he beat the crap out of me. But we're not going to get it. We're never going to let it get to that point. So, all right, unless it's in fun, because I used to as a kid, I used to be a bit of a tomboy. Yeah, I used to play with the boys because I always used to find it more fun than hanging out with the ladies. As much as I love the ladies, you know, I was never into dolls. I was not into Barbie, and I always tell people, I could have been one of those kids that they would have tried to turn into a man. It, no, I love men too much to become a man. I know better. They need me. Men need me. Okay, so yeah, I'm showing you some of the basics what I learned when I was at. So if you have a dominant hand, you stand with your dominant hand. That is for punching. Uh, or actually, they say you're supposed to stand in the other direction because you're supposed to use your left for jabbing and your right, your strong hand. Now I'm forgetting. Oh my gosh. Because you want to be able to give it good follow through. Okay, so jabbing with your left. And then, yeah, so your right foot has to be forward, not your left foot. You know what? I just, when I do my exercises, they're always like in the same kind of movement. So when I do but with proper stance is like you got to get your foot lined up with your dominant hand that you're going to be pounding with. Because you got to get some force put into it. But when you're doing a cross punch or a jab, you just do a little, because it's a little bit of, this is just to back people away from you. This to give it something. And like I say, I used to fight with my brother when I was younger, so I learned to push him away really good. Boom! But yeah, he was always way better at it than I was. And I'm just a natural, that's all. So yeah, so there's the jab. Okay, let me set proper stance. Well, right foot's fine. Now, like I say, if you're dominant left foot, left hand, that kind of thing. Okay, so you jab. I forget sometimes because you're thinking of the power that you're going to be releasing. And you want it to, if you really want it way back like that, you could do like a back stance, and you could jab with this hand, left, but you have your left forward, and do like a jab like this too. I'm ambidextrous, so then I would like a wham. But you have to calculate what your opponent is going to be doing, and that's the other thing too. I can do this all day. I can like pretend, but if you need a sparring partner because your sparring partner will kind of give you the. You got to duck, and you got to form a technique. Yeah. So it's been a while. And I'm going to get back into it because it is fun. It is good exercise too. You learn about resistance training. When you're punching, you give a lot of force, so you're actually using a lot of force in your muscles. And I guess what it is you have to tear the muscle in order to build it up. So, and me being 54, I mean, I used to have muscle here when I was dancer. When I was dancer, when I was younger, say in my oh gosh, this is going like 19, 18. You could actually see like the muscles and stuff like that. Yeah, I used to dance a lot in my bedroom and just keep it, just I exercise a lot. And as I get, you get older, you don't do that. And you have to stand properly. Like if I stand properly, there we go. I look okay. It's when I it's when I slouch and stuff that I start to get a little bit, yeah. Anyways, yeah. So it's good to keep healthy. With I would suggest if you're not big on exercising, that boxing is like so much fun because you can stay still and just do this to start. You're moving your arms, you're getting your arms started, but you're also starting to work in the core. And the core is what I used to be good at working it, and I haven't been doing it for a while. And stretching is very good too because when you stretch, you're loosening some of the muscles that have been tensed up during the course of the day, like that too. And it's good to relax, breathe. As an artist, you have to take this into consideration because there's so much coming at you sometimes at once that you got to take a step back and just breathe with everything you do. Oh, and there's another thing. Because, well, as you can tell, from years of when I was heavier, you can see I got the loose skin and stuff like that. But what would happen is because I wasn't taking care of myself, I allowed myself an injury to happen, and my Achilles tendon on my right foot. And you can try and put a bandage on it. You can try put a tensor bandage on it. The only thing that you can really do is just work out the leg, like keep the leg strong, and not put so much pressure on a sore or injured foot until it's completely healed. Now they say that the power of the mind is very, very like extremely helpful. The power of the mind, you can heal yourself. Like there is a possibility that that little bump on my, I have friends that have worse with their Achilles tendon than I do, and they suffer for it for standing all day long. This is in a job that you stand all day long, and this is what we do when we serve the public. And this is some of the injuries that happen from serving the public. So yeah, tendons can have an issue. Ankles. I was thinking all your major joints are very, very important. You don't think about how everything like your foot all comes to your ankle, and the ankle is very important. Your leg all joins to your knee. Your knees are very important to have. Your hips, your shoulders, your elbows, of course, and everything kind of works in concession with your wrists from your hands. You've got to massage your wrists. Sometimes to massage your wrists releases a little bit of pressure on your hands. Sometimes when you massage your shoulder, it releases pressure in your arms. And then the same thing goes for like if you massage around your knee, you can release some of the pressure in your calves and ta-da-da-da-da-da. So, and it's always good to always touch yourself too. Keep you touch yourself. Why not? If you feel good, you feel good, and it's important, to keep those muscles strong and moving. You can tell I used to be a climber. My forearms are pretty strong, and yeah, from also doing some lifting and stuff like that. I used to lift weights and stuff. Lift weights are very good to do too, like resistance training. That's what I do too. I lift weights too. I could talk all about fitness and everything that's good for you, but it's you that has to do it, and that's what it basically comes down to. So when I slouch, you can see that I'm like, "Roar." But if I stand up straight and tall, you can actually tell I'm doing it. My weight is pretty steady now, and that's the other thing I wanted to mention because of doing carnivore diet. When I was doing keto, I was losing weight, but I was not getting any nutrients. So what we've got as I have more nutrients now in my body than I used to, and I have more protein. So um, although I look like this now, you could maybe give me a couple weeks. I could change my whole form into something like very, very cut if I wanted to. It depends on how much you want to work out. That's the thing too. And like I say, at my age, it's important to keep going. Like even if you just dance to a song, if you just like try and do a push up or five, get started doing something, just something to make you feel good and get your blood pumping and get your heart racing and think about being in love. Love is a good thing too. Sometimes it makes you feel like you're gonna go, ooh, you can fly. Sometimes you feel so good inside, you just gotta let it out and you just feel like you can dance and you wanna have a great you wanna have a great day because you feel so good. You don't feel really good like that? There's nothing wrong with feeling good. And sometimes, like earlier today, I was making myself up a little scenario, like in my mind. I think of a little jokes and things like that, and in some scenarios in my mind, I think of something funny, and I find myself laughing. And now my hubby Frank, he asks like, "Oh, what's funny?" And I'm like, "Well, oh, I just thought of something funny." You probably thinking, "Yeah, you're probably making fun of me," but no, 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 no. It has nothing to do with him. It's all about what's going on in your mind and how you think, how you feel, how you present yourself. And I try to present myself as a, a down to earth kind of person. I try to kind of make everything easy and like a lot of people say, "Oh, you got the artistic mind. I'm not the same as you. I can't do what you do." You can, but it's just a matter of getting past whatever little thing it is that keeps you from doing what you want. I still have many, many demons to get over. I'm still stuck in that eddy. You know what I was talking about when I told you about when I went whitewater rafting and everybody's going past me and I'm stuck. I still feel like I'm pushing it. I'm pushing still as hard as I can to catch up with everybody, and I'm doing my darndest, and getting out of that eddy and floating downstream. You know what I forgot to tell you? Yeah, I went whitewater rafting when I was 19 years old. 18, 19, yeah. And jumped off a 50-foot cliff and then into the Ottawa River. That's great because I knew that I'd be okay, that, people would be rescuing me, that stuff like that. And I mentioned that I almost drowned when I was there. And it's not from the river, let me tell you. It wasn't from the Whitewater River, Ottawa River, that I was actually drowning. It was actually me trying to swim, like swimming and not realizing that I wasn't a good swimmer. That was a toughie. And I'll tell you the story. It goes a little bit like this. Okay, so after we had done the whitewater rafting, it was a weekend kind of thing where you could do a whole weekend of whitewater rafting. You go to different places, you have like steak and all kinds of stuff. There was a little area where you could go dancing and stuff like that at the evenings. It was great time with a whole bunch of people. Okay, and we all had our little camps and stuff like that. Um, so later on, yeah, it's something that haunts me to this day because I almost died. I can't believe that. And the worst thing about it is like you learn who your friends are too. And it was like, I can't believe. Okay, so this is how it goes. So it was our one day off, and the place that we were staying at, they had this nice little makeshift lake where it has this dock, and it was a nice day. Okay, it was a nice day, and we were all out. We were finished doing the whitewater rafting, and decided we were going to hang out for the day, go swimming, that kind of thing at this lake thing. So, and this is before Frank and I. So this is like anyways, so what has happened is we're going to go to the dock. Okay, we're going to go swim to the dock, and of course, everybody is like gung ho, so they all swim out to the dock, and here I am, and I'm like, yeah, I can do this. So I'm like swimming along, and when you can't see the bottom, sometimes it really makes you a little bit nervous, right? So I don't know about you, but I kind of let the panic get the best of me, okay? And that's probably why what happened. And I wasn't that far away from the dock. I was probably um say from the where Joe Satriani finger painting is over there to where I'm standing now, okay? So it wasn't very far away, but well, maybe a little bit further. Okay. But the thing was is that they were on the dock and I'm trying to get from way over there to here, and I'm running out of breath. And I never thought that it would happen. I thought, oh, that's not a bad swim. I can make it. But when I got to that point there, I was like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. And I had a friend of mine say a similar story where she had the same thing happen. She was swimming with her dad, and he's a really avid and really good swimmer, but well, she was born with a little bit of a birth defect that made it harder for her to breathe. So he didn't realize that she was having a hard time. And um, the friends that probably I was swimming with didn't realize I was having a hard time as well. But I was okay. So I'm swimming up to the dock, and my boyfriend at the time was already there, and all of his friends were already up there, and they're all watching me. Watching me trying to make it. Okay, and I'm swimming and I'm swimming, and I'm like, come on, you guys, help me. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. Can you? I'm not wearing and usually when we're doing the whitewater rafting, I'm wearing like a life vest. I'm not wearing a life vest. So I'm swimming and I'm like, come on, you guys. I'm not going to make it. And I'm like, say right there, they can hear me. They can see me like having a hard time. And one of his friends says, I'm like, I can't believe that they did this. Like, they're like, don't touch her. If you touch her, she's gonna drown, and we're all gonna drown. That's like if you go and touch her, that you're gonna drown if you go and try and rescue her because you know what? I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm hearing this as I'm swimming this way. I'm like trying my best. I and I flip over onto my back, and what I do is I kick with my legs because it's the last resort that I could think of. And I kick with my legs all the way up to the dock where I bunk my head back of my head on the dock because I was not looking where I was going. I know where the dock is and I'm just paddling backwards and bonk my head on the dock. Got up there. I think I got my hands on the dock and they pulled me up and I'm like I was exhausted, like wheezing, and like, oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was gonna die, and I'm like, why didn't you do that? Why? That's like, you could see that I could. You were just like a hand. You could just. I'm like, are you serious? I was livid at that point. Nothing that they were saying to me anymore was like, I'm not listening to you guys anymore. It's like, this is it. That's it. I can't believe you would let me drown. You'd let me drown. You would have let me drown. Thank you. So with that, yeah, I get so angry about it. Even now, I'm thinking about it. Just raises my blood pressure because you know what? Like if she was on the other foot. I mean, if they were that close, I would like as much as I could. I would be helping them and pulling them up onto the deck so they could at least get an extra breath in or something. Okay, so yeah, as soon as I got my breath, and I looking back towards when you're looking back towards the shore and you're looking and you can see okay it didn't look that far away. The dock didn't look that far away, but as you were swimming to it, oh my gosh, it was impossible, right? And plus, um, when you're going back towards the shore, it's the water's getting shallow. It's not getting like more deep as you're going towards the dock. Okay, so as soon as I got my breath back, I jumped back in the water and went back onto shore. And I could swim back onto shore. I had enough breath to get back onto shore because I know that at least I could see the bottom and put my feet down so I could walk. Even if I was up to here in water, I could still walk my way and make my way like walking back to shore where, at the dock I had no idea. I had no idea what I was gonna do if I couldn't swim any further, if I had gotten a cramp or something. But wow, and I guess that's my rant for the day of what, and there you go. It just shows you can be as healthy as you think you are, and there can be something that you can just you need to be a little bit more. Always that little bit more you have to do, a little bit more. So the reason you can't quit is because there is that little bit more that you got to get done. And even if if it has to do with like work, with the life, there's always that little bit more that you got to get done. Don't ever think that your work is ever done. Nothing is ever fully complete, you know. And that's the thing too. And then that's the thing about Wellness Wednesday. And that's, yeah, I think I will change the name from Wacky Wednesday to Wellness Wednesday, because, we all need to kind of find that part in our life that, that, and maybe have a moment where we can forgive them now, because we learned at that point some of the things that help us today be the better person that we are, right? And on that note, so exercise is great. Keeping your mental stability is very great too. And being able to laugh about things and just be able to talk about things is a great thing as well. So always talk. Don't ever be silent, because you can be helping somebody without even knowing it. And that's the great thing, right? We all need a little bit of help along the way, and I appreciate your help. If you want to help me with my channel and you like what you heard, you want to know a little bit more about the wellness things that I do to keep myself well at 54. Now I'm at this point where 54, I'm like, where did that come from? I went from being 19 to 54. It's like, wow, that a lot of great stuff happened in between, and I'm a lot wiser and a lot happier because of it, and I can explain it all to you, and that's great. Maybe that's the whole point. You got to experience life to be able to talk about it, right? Yeah. All right. And as in the words of Ferris Bueller, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. And believe me, I haven't missed it. I haven't missed a beat. I am having so much fun. Whoa. And the fun still continues to this day. And I love you guys. Like now I get into rock climbing. Maybe I was better like solid to earth kind of person rather than water. Maybe that's what it takes. But anyways, I want to say thank you very much for tuning in to Wellness Wednesday, which is this is what the day is going to be. I might even start doing a little bit of exercise live, and if you would want to join me doing some exercise classes, maybe I could just do a couple exercise classes with you if you need some help. Tug on my arm. I'm right there. It's not like you're floundering in the bleak darkness. I got you. Yeah, yeah. I won't let you drown. How about that? I won't let you drown. I'll try and keep you as happy and as healthy as I can. What more can I do? What more can I do? 'Cause you got personality. And so do I. I don't want to give you this. All right, and before I go, don't be afraid. Love, love. Learn to love each other. Learn to love each other. Learn to love yourself. And well wishes to everyone. Oh, I'll do it this way. Peace, oh brother, with a little bit added, as my mom always say. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Yeah, come hang out with me. I don't bite hard.